Hi Virgos, and this is your August 2019 Love Monthly Forecast reading, and this reading is for all Virgos out there who have their Sun, Moon, and Rising sign in Virgo. So this is a general reading, so please do know that it may or may not tune in for the rest of you guys. So just keep that in mind. Do exercise your own sense of intuition in relating this to your own personal situation. Okay, so before I do start this reading, I'll just give you guys a recap on the previous reading I've done because this is my second recording, so I'm not sure if I'm having the difficulty because of the Mercury retrograde or simply because, there are lack of information that I need to say and I have to redo the reading and all that. I'm not sure, but I am inclined to say that I feel that um, there's like a two-way street going on right now with Virgos. Like one path leads to another area of life, and another path is leading to a different setup. So there are similarities with this reading and with that reading, but it leads to an entirely different outcome. So, I don't know. But in the previous reading, there is some form of confrontation needing to be done. Um, I was sensing some form of ultimatum, some form of a debate going on. So it must be something that you have already implemented or probably going to be experiencing, especially if you were watching this video around July. So yeah, there is some form of confrontation or ultimatum going on. I would say that there has been an argument of some kind with a relationship that seems to be so wonderful, but at the same time filled a lot of problems. Like it seems as if it was the perfect relationship, but for some reason, like there is a problem in that relationship, and I don't know. It felt like you are being guided to do something about it. And there is a sense there of moving forward, though, it's probably that maybe you are wanting to move forward, you wanted that relationship to move forward, those kinds of things. I do see that in that reading, a lot of Virgos seems to be at the point of transformation in their life. Like they are mostly in a crossroad, especially in their love area. So that Virgo that I was picking up in that reading is more of a negative kind, like they are seeing things in a negative light. It seems like they're thinking of the worst of the situation, but in reality, there's a lot of possibilities that is about to come for them. There is some form of real love going to be knocking their door in the near future. I do remember clearly there is a Three of Cups, so there is a possibility of happy times ahead, and it could also be a reunion with a person from your past. And the overall card right there is the Ten of Pentacles. So I do see that, there is a work in progress in terms of relationship in that area or in that reading overall. So, and the bigger message right there was to not be afraid of confrontation. Um, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Don't be afraid to confront someone because that is the only way that sets you free from the situation. And it doesn't mean a breakup. I kind of feel that in August something will happen, something will pop, and you will suddenly see that things are going to be falling into place as if things are happening at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment. So it felt like something is fated right there. And yeah, I do see some form of partnerships growing more, and all the pitfalls and mishaps that has occurred before are going to be just part of the past and not something that you have to deal with anymore. So there is a possibility that that version of the reading is a point wherein you have given an ultimatum already with a certain person, and there's a possibility of no contact happening, and you will experience some form of contact within the month of August. This reading, though, is a little bit different, but it has the same energy. There are trust issues going on here, and it will be up to you whether you listen to your inner voice, to your intuition that is guiding you, because both of the reading is like not it's like there is a message from your higher self that is knocking their door to you, giving you a nudge to wake up. There is some form of reality that you need to accept, to that you need to look on, um, those kinds of things. So yeah, if that reading, that kind of Virgo is too negative, in this reading, it felt like this Virgo is a lot more positive to a point wherein they need to be careful now. So, yeah, let's begin. You do have the Strength card. You do have the Strength card being challenged by the Ten of Wands. So, you're starting off with a very powerful and intense combination. The Strength card here is like really wanting to get the bottom of things. Also thinking about a lot of possibility. Like, this could be a tendency wherein you are believing something to be very true, something that could last a lifetime. It could be a relationship that you feel is meant for you, those kinds of things. But I kind of feel, it gives me that feel like you don't know what you're getting yourself into, that kind of situation. And I feel that for some of you guys, you intuitively know that something is wrong, but at the same time, you're not really giving a shit on it. Or, I don't know, you're not caring about it anymore. It feels like this is an element wherein you're willing to risk something. You're willing to take a risk on things. But it is being clarified by the card of the Thief. Now, I don't always see this card as a negative card, but in this situation, I kind of feel that there is something that you need to be careful of. There is something that you need to be wary of, especially in terms of a relationship wherein you thought that you know the person, but maybe you really don't know them, and something might just caught you off guard. But at the same time, this could be just yourself, It could be a self-sabotaging behavior wherein you're going to risk on something which is not worth it, and it's like a self-inflicted kind of behavior. So it would really depends about your real situation involved, since this is just a general reading. So all I can do is give you examples and how this can play out. But yeah, I would say that for Virgos, risking is the last thing you want to do at this time, even though you have that urges inside of you. Your foundation card, you do have the Six of Pentacles, and being clarified by the Melancholy card. So this is a situation wherein it really makes you feel that you wanted to do something in your life, but I kind of feel that you're not seeing things very clearly. It's like you wanted to fulfill a lot of emotions inside of you to the point wherein, you're not exactly taking another look with the pros and cons in a certain situation. Like, notice in the Six of Pentacles how the man the man is paying attention to one thing and ignoring the other thing. It has that kind of tendency to it as well. Even though that, you might tell yourself that you are a very careful person, you're not going to risk without knowing the real situation and all that. I kind of feel that there could be something that you're not seeing clearly at this time, especially if you are not being guided by someone, like a counselor or a psychic reader or something like that, or an astrologer. If you're dealing with things without any form of guidance, there is a strong possibility that you'll fall prey into something. And again, this is just a general reading, so it's not really a point to scare you or anything like that. This is just a reminder to not get impulsive. And I know you're not impulsive. It's just that for the month of August, there is just that tendency that you might suddenly rush yourself into something, and it could be like the worst decision you could ever do. In the recent past, you have the Two of Cups, and clarified by the Sweetheart card. So there was a relationship here that really made you feel really good. Maybe it has built up a lot of confidence in you, which is why you are willing to take the risk in a certain situation and all that. But your crowning energy here is being shown by the Eight of Cups. So this is the crowning energy is basically, most of the time, is a place where you are about to undergo, about to experience, and such like that. So a part of you is thinking that it could be worth it, but a part of you is also thinking that maybe this is not the right decision to make. It could be that this is not, there is some form of intuitive guidance in you. So it's not completely that you are naive. There is something that you already know. It's just that you're not probably accepting it, or I don't know, maybe you're trying to see the positive side of things, because I do see that part of you has been quite positive recently. But I kind of feel that there are tendencies here that every time you feel that it's okay to trust, something always happens, and it does not really happen. It doesn't really give a very good feeling at the end of the day. And your near future card here is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is being clarified by Conversations card. So this could be a shocking situation for you, especially coming up in the near future. This could be a situation wherein you might find yourself hurt, you might find yourself worried, there's a lot of anxiety, worry, issues going on. But more than that, I kind of feel that you might find out something that might surprise you, and it's not always the most pleasing thing to know, especially with the Nine of Swords. So no matter what happens to you, I kind of feel that there is something that is going to be revealed to you. And if you are not being careful, if you're not trusting your own sense of intuition, that might lead to like a big disappointment for you. I'm not trying to be negative here, so I'm just, please do know that I'm just relaying the message that I'm getting to this reading. And as much as everyone knows, the Nine of Swords is not always the most positive card. So yeah, just laying it out there. Again, this is something that is possible to happen in the near future if you're not careful enough. So I would say that for you to avoid this, if possible, is to try to dig deep on what's your real situation in terms of relationship. So I'm really talking about people who are in a relationship right now, a relationship wherein you felt good, a relationship that you have built recently for the past few months, and it felt like it's a perfect relationship. It makes you feel like a woman, really. But um, ironically, I kind of feel that there is also a possibility that you're not really seeing the other person very clearly. Possibility that you don't even really see them. It could be an internet relationship or something. So yeah, um, it makes me feel that this reading, it has that unbalanced energy wherein someone is giving their attention to it and the other person is like missing that kind of a feeling and energy. So in the near future, I do see some form of worry coming in towards you, and this is going to be manifesting, especially if you are not guarding yourself. If you are willing to take the risk and all that, and then finding yourself um, getting shocked later on. I mean, let's get real here. Virgos are not really the most, they're not prepared with surprises that are not within their control and not within their calculations and all that. So, anyways, you do have the Six of Swords right here, which also popped up earlier in my first reading with Virgos. So this is about you wanting to move things forward. This is why I kind of feel that you're willing to take a risk, because there's a lot of forward momentum here. You don't really give too much thought on double checking things, because maybe this is the rare time wherein you feel like you wanted to do something for yourself. But I kind of feel that your timing is quite off. For me, this is the time where you have to think more carefully more than ever. So yeah, don't take a risk. I repeat, don't take any risk at all. And if possible, try to delay things. If possible, try to wait things out. And be the Virgo that you are, Play safe. Do the safe thing first. I mean, it could be selfish in a way, but for me, it's better to be safe than sorry. So if you have to make a decision about risk, um, do make a decision wherein you are not going to be the person that takes an initiative to do something out of your comfort zone. Security first. That's what I would say to you guys. So external factors involved, we do have the Page of Wands, and this is about a person who is quite bubbly and adventurous. They seem nice and all that, very much welcoming. Let's see. And they are someone that you probably would like to talk and socialize and all that. But I kind of feel that there is something off about them. They are not what they truly seem to be. So I would say you should not let your down guard. Sorry, you should not let your guard down. Oh my gosh, what's happening to me? It's funny because I'm twisting my words, which rarely happens, I think. So, yeah, you might need to take that in consideration since this is also a channeled reading. So, makes me feel that sometimes I tend to embody the energies that I'm reading on. So in a way, we do have the star card here that represents your hopes and wishes. And this is a double-edged sword. Because yes, you want to feel good, you want to feel inspired. There is something that you really, really want to happen. Like you want your wishes to be fulfilled. So sometimes you are thinking so positively to a point wherein, you're not seeing things clearly as a result. So this is a double-edged sword because you might be thinking too much on what makes you feel good to a point wherein you're not trying to double check on things and all that. This also is a card that can lead you to, a form of negativity. So it's a positive and negative card for me. But ultimately, your hope is that there is some form of wonderful thing at the end of the day throughout this venture. And that's not always that's a good thing, to hope for the best to come. It's just that it's okay to say that you wanted something really good to happen in your life. It's just that I feel that you should not really just trust anyone just because they make you feel good right now, just because they were nice to you and all that. I mean, I feel that your guides or your inner self is telling you something. And instead of you trying to be more superficial, trying to trust the little actions that is being shown to you by the other person involved, I kind of feel that you should work on listening to your own intuition first, because I kind of feel it's telling you something. The truth is there. So don't disregard it. Okay. The outcome card that you have is a Three of Wands. A Three of Wands is like really looking forward into things, but it is being clarified by the Side card, and this is about you waiting on something. So, this could just be some form of delay, Maybe you have plans for the month of August, but it's not going to be happening within the month of August. It might get moved, or some form of expectations that you have doesn't really pan out. So the good side here is that, something is going to be clearing up in your mind. Something good is about to happen. Because the truth is finally going to be revealed to you, and that is the most important thing here. It's just that another aspect, it's quite of a downer if you get disappointed, right? It's like, yeah, I guess the only way I can define this is like this reading is a double-edged sword. In one way, it's like you're gonna be waking up from a dream, but at the same time, it makes you feel down because that dream felt really good. It was really so nice, and it will be hard to accept that it was a dream all along and all that. So yeah, this is really not the most positive reading, I would say. Also, some of you guys might have to break up with that person who lied to you, who has been fooling around with you, and that can trigger a different sense of energy as well. We do have the Three of Swords here with the last card of the deck. So something that felt good might come to an end for some of you guys. So yeah, just to break it down to you guys, there are trust issues in the reading of Virgos, and it leads to two type of outcome. One is that you are going to rekindle a relationship with someone in your past, and one is that if you have created or built a new relationship in the past few months, let's say around March or April, around those times, starting around those months, it might come to an end for August, especially if there's, you have done this around the time of retrogrades and all that. There's a lot of cloudy energy in that phase or in that zone. You are gonna be waking up soon, and it is going to be a major lesson of its own way. So yeah, all I can say is that you have to trust your own sense of intuition, and this time around I kind of feel that you will learn something from this. Not everything is made of rose tinted glasses in reality, because I kind of feel that, the Virgos that I'm picking up for this specific reading, they have this, Piscean energy to them. So they are Virgos yet has a Pisces energy all at the same time. So they tend to get fooled by people, even though they are pretty smart and sharp with things. So yeah, if this is you, I would say that do something that will save yourself. It doesn't have to be that you are going to encounter something bad or anything like that. But for me, save yourself from getting disappointed. Save yourself in finding the truth of a situation, truth of what that person really is, who that person really is. You are going to be finding out something. And it can turn in a lot of directions and all that. So yeah, I guess this is my reading for Virgos out there. I really hope that most of the Virgos will be able to relate to the first part of the reading, not this part, because this part is really more of a depressing side. I guess it will make you feel sad and melancholic and all that. So, but it doesn't have to always be like this, especially as early as now. Try to figure things out. The earlier, the better. As they say, prevention is always the key on certain things, and knowledge is always powerful. So, yeah, but again, this is just a general reading, so you don't have to fear anything all at the same time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and tuning in with me. I do apologize to all my technical difficulties. This is really what happens when you do the reading during a Mercury retrograde. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you guys next month.